How many, question for you, how many have you murdered?
How many kids have you adopted? That's a serious question. You guys are out here protesting the murder of fetuses?
Murder of babies. We don't,
how many kids
you can speak English, you don't have to speak Latin. Ma'am, please don't have anything to do with baby murder. God says you shall not murder, ma'am. God says you shall not murder. The 6th commandment of God's law written on your conscience. If you're pregnant, you're already a mom. Love your baby, mama. Love your baby.
You know they do other things here than abortion.
Well, so did Hitler. But that doesn't justify what Hitler did, right? Did you know that?
Okay.
So I guess Hitler was okay, right? Because he did other things.
Though, if you guys are out here genuinely protesting, then you can have a conversation, right?
Yeah, we'll have one right now.
So how many kids have you adopted? What is the reason that you guys are standing out here?
Well, for the glory of God, first and foremost.
The glory of God.
Right.
So I'm assuming you guys are Christians.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Okay. So being that you guys are Christians, what do you do to help your community? Aside from this, what do you do? What do you do to help the mothers who are having kids who can't afford to have them?
Why does it have to be aside from that? Why exclude this?
Because I'm asking, other than standing here and raising your signs, what are you guys doing to help the mothers of babies? They can't afford the babies. They can't take care of the babies. They shouldn't be having the babies. What are you doing to help them?
Well, you're assuming a lot of things there, that they can't afford the babies. They shouldn't be having the children. They already have the children, and they should provide for their children, and we do help them financially.
So how do you help them financially?
We help them with their registries. We provide for their children financially. We give them whatever resources they need.
Who is we?
All over the country. Not just here, but all over the country.
Well, you're claiming a part of that. So who is we? Who is we that's helping these mothers?
Under HIPAA law, I can't actually discuss that with you.
Under HIPAA law?
I can't disclose any of that.
You're not a medical professional.
I didn't say I was a medical professional.
That is what HIPAA applies to.
No, it doesn't.
But we help. But we help. And what do you help yourself?
I'm not. You guys are the ones that are protesting. I'm not.
Yeah, we're protesting mass murder, right? We're protesting mass murder of children.
If you're not helping the mothers.
No, I already answered the question. I said we do.
You want them to have the babies. You just
they already have the baby.
Afterwards.
They already have the you already got the answer. You just may not like it. They already have the child. The question is, are they going to love their baby or are they going to hate their baby to death?
You're protesting abortion, though. Your whole
Murder.
reason for protesting abortion is that you want the mothers to have the babies, right?
They already have the baby.
Okay.
They already have them.
You want them to give birth to the babies.
I want them to love their baby.
You want them to give birth.
That's the natural.
That's the end result here. Is you want them to.
Well, the baby's going to come out either way.
That's the only other option is to give birth. If you don't want them to have.
Well, that's natural. That's natural.
So you want them to have birth, to give birth to the baby.
I want them to love their baby.
So if they're giving birth to
what?
the baby.
Does that seem strange to you?
Who's carrying the financial burden? Who's carrying the emotional burden? Who is helping these mothers?
I already answered that question. We come alongside them and help them.
Okay. So what about?
Please look at this murdered baby as you're answering these questions.
So do you have any?
You can't fix a wrong with another wrong.
Okay, so let's say a father rapes his 14-year-old daughter.
Right.
Okay. You're gonna then force her to have that baby.
Why not kill the father?
Think about how you're phrasing that question. Force her to carry her baby.
To term.
Think about how you're phrasing that.
Baby
forcing her.
Is when it's born.
You're
gonna force her to carry that and birth that baby.
Well, should she do this to her child?
Is this a better option?
Did she have a choice in that?
Well, does the baby have the choice in having this done?
Her body, her choice.
This isn't her body.
It is.
You're denying science and basic human biology.
The only thing that's creating this.
Well, it takes two, ma'am. And on the van right there too.
So if you're not helping these women.
Ma'am, I already answered the question. We do help. You're assuming.
But no, I'm asking you. I
already answered your question.
How do you specifically, you as a person?
Yeah, I'm part of that group I told you about earlier.
Females who you're asking to carry this fetus to term and give birth.
I already answered your question earlier.
But you did.
No, I did. Maybe you just didn't want to hear it.
You just don't want to hear the answer.
Okay.
But my question for you, let's say that I adopted 10 children and brought them into my house. Then would that change your mind? Would you then be opposed to what we're doing out here?
If every person who is protesting against women's rights, abortion, okay, if every person who is doing that,
we're not doing that, by the way.
Adopting children, then maybe we wouldn't be in this position. But
well,
it's not even about that. It's about our right to choose what we do with our bodies, regardless of what you think.
You're doing something.
So do you have the right to beat someone up today, to shoot someone in the head?
Do I have the right to do that? No. I don't.
Well then,
Why do you get the
Do
But-
I have the right to walk in there and get an abortion if I so choose? Absolutely.
do you have the right to drown a child in the bathtub?
What?
Do you have a right to drown a child in the bathtub?
The child who is living, breathing, and can live on its own.
Like these children, living and breathing,
That's a child just walking down the street. Absolutely not.
and they cannot live on their own either. A 1-year-old cannot live on their own, nor can a
Can they
5-year-old.
breathe? Can they eat? Can they have normal
Yeah, they can
bodily
eat inside
functions on
their-
their own? Absolutely.
Why does
Absolutely.
age matter and location?
Viability matters.
Why?
So
A
if
woman's
something's
choice
human,
to
should you
not-
kill it? Could you
A
kill
woman's
humans?
choice matters.
Should you kill humans?
Well, what's that choice that you're talking about?
The choice is to decide whether or not to carry a fetus to term.
You don't speak Latin. We're in America. A baby.
It's not a baby. It's a fetus.
Fetus means small
Little,
child.
yeah, in Latin.
Okay. Before 6 weeks, it's not viable. Before 8 weeks,
What does
not
that
viable.
matter?
There's a reason that we have a limit on the term that you can have an abortion.
And what is that
There's
reason?
a reason for that.
What is that reason?
Because at a certain point, the baby is viable outside of the womb.
So we should murder them when they're even less protected. When they're not viable, we should murder them.
The most
It's a health
vulnerable
condition
thing.
until they're viable outside of
How is
the
that a health condition?
womb. It's a health condition.
How?
What do you mean how?
I mean, when a baby, yeah. Oh, but there are many people who are not viable, whether inside the womb or outside the womb. Do we just
So
murder
you're
them?
okay with murder?
No, you're okay with murder.
You just said there's many people not viable.
Yeah, so should we murder them? There are
That's
people.
what you're saying.
No. Please don't go in this place.
Should the man who
I'm gonna go in this place.
should the man who raped his daughter?
And look at what they do.
We're gonna have judgment.
Once you
The
correct
wrath
your
of God
hypocrisy,
is coming upon you.